All right, Austin, thank you. We are continuing to look into the case of a former Cave Spring teacher and athletic director who was recently federally charged on child pornography. Now, a local victim is telling his story about his experience with Randy Meck nearly 30 years ago. We do want to warn you, some of the language and images in the story are graphic. Target 7's Melissa Gaona joins us now with more on her conversation with the victim in an interview you'll only see here on WDBJ 7.
Tonight, we're continuing our Target 7 investigation into Randall Meck. The former Roanoke County athletic director recently pleaded guilty to federal charges of child pornography. While those specific crimes did not happen here in our area, we do know that Meck was fired from his position as athletic director at Cave Spring High School back in 2006 after his computer was confiscated. The big question, why was Meck fired? We could not help but wonder if it had to do with the same pedophilic behavior that recently landed him in prison. Last week, Target 7 uncovered a 20-year-old police report showing Meck was accused of molesting 2 Cave Spring students, but was never charged. The report says the case was closed by the Commonwealth's attorney because, quote, no victims could be located or came forward. We took those questions to the school board chairman back then, Mike Stovall, who also said he was unaware of any victims coming forward. But tonight, nearly 20 years later, we hear from a man who says he did speak out. Will we ever know what was on Randall Meck's computer in 2006?
Maybe not.
And why? Why can't that information be released?
Well, that's a good question. And I think part of it is because it never made it to the court of law.
WDBJ 7 filed a Freedom of Information Act with the Virginia State Police requesting any files on Randy Meck. As suspected, we got back an investigative report dated May of 2006. It stated victim names were not given, no victim could be located or came forth. So the case was closed.
One person. All it took would have been one person 10 years ago. 15 years ago, whenever, it would have taken one person to stand up and say, this happened.
Alex Jarvis says he did come forward in 2006, 10 years after Meck tried to abuse him while he was a student at Cave Spring High School. Jarvis's testimony caught our attention because he knew specific details that were in the investigative report, which has never been released to the public. He agreed to share his story only with Target 7. It begins in 1996 when Jarvis was a junior at Cave Spring. He first encountered Meck in an AOL chat room for gay people in Roanoke.
He started asking me for pictures, if I had pictures of actors that were nude. He started flirting with me. He would say things like, I like it when you leave my classroom. You have a cute butt. Or, I don't know if you noticed today, but I dropped my pen right around you. That way I could get a closer look at your crotch. Stay after school late one day, meet me in the coach's lounge and bend me over the couch. You can do it. Another student has already done it, so you can do it too. And I was scared because I was 16 or 17, I don't recall which. I was very much in the closet. Nobody knew, but somehow this man figured out who I was, and I was terrified he was going to tell somebody that I was gay.
Jarvis says Meck was the business computer applications teacher, and he told Meck to leave him alone or else he would tell the principal. Alex, what was the tone in the late 90s for anyone who was gay?
For a gay teenager, it wasn't talked about. You kept it to yourself, and that's why you found these chat rooms on the internet, to find people who could at least understand you.
Did you ever think about telling your parents?
No, that was never an option. They couldn't know. They could not know that I was gay and that I was in chat rooms on the internet talking to other gay people. Oh no, that was not an option.
Alex says he did reach out to the boy who Meck allegedly claimed to have had sex with in the coach's lounge.
So I confronted him, and he confirmed exactly what Meck had told me, that they had gone to Cave Spring after hours in the coach's lounge and had sex.
Still keeping quiet, Alex says he moved on with his life. That was until 10 years later in 2006 when Alex saw a story on the news.
Randy Meck was asked to resign as Cave Springs athletic director.
The school district decided not to renew Meck's contract, leading to a groundswell of support from parents.
It would break Randy Meck's heart.
Some of whom threatened to boycott graduation if Meck was not there.
I was absolutely disgusted and nauseated hearing people talk about this man like he was some type of saint and this hero. And they, being the school, was doing him wrong, and I couldn't sit in silence. I had to tell somebody.
Alex says he contacted local media, sent an email to the school system with detailed information about what happened, then did an interview with the reporter, but the story never aired.
I never heard from him again. And that same afternoon or that evening on the local news, the breaking news was Meck had been fired due to recent information that had been found out. I tried to stop this. I'm sorry. But I said, we tried to stop this in 2006, and we were ignored, and it was swept under the rug. And so he's been doing the same crap. They chose to protect him and give him secrecy. He was allowed to do this filth.
Again, Mike Stovall, the chairman of the school board in 2006, says they gave the information to Roanoke County and Virginia State Police. And this investigative report from 2006 proves that is true. Why the case was closed, we still do not know. The Commonwealth's attorney at the time was Randy Leach, and he died 5 months ago.
Melissa Gayona reporting for us. And if you or anyone you know is a victim of sexual assault, there is trained help available. You can contact the National Sexual Assault Telephone Hotline. That number, 800-656-4673. The call will be confidential. Again, 800-656-4673.